It's your boy James Wanna Supplier, VVCRadio.com. It's the Aries Lounge Podcast. I'm back with another phenomenal, life-changing, remarkable episode. And today, I got a boss in the building. I have an author in the building. He is a Baltimorean. I don't know what side of town is on, but we about to get to the storyline. Yo, I got the man, D. Watkins, in the building. What's going on, bro?
Man, everybody know I'm from East Baltimore, man. That shit's in my bio. What are you talking about? It's in my bio.
You seem like a dirty East Side dude. You know what I'm saying?
My bio like 3 lines, and 2 of them say talking about East Baltimore.
What part of East Baltimore?
So I'm born in Lafayette Housing Projects, but I ain't from there. I'm from Robinson and Jefferson Street, Ashland and Rose, mostly down the hill. Lived mostly down the hill my whole life.
Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Shout out to that. Yeah, you definitely getting in a lot of street fights. Yo, shout out to that.
It's funny because like sometimes I get booked to do events and like I just can't, like I just toured Europe, so I had like an ill event in Paris, and then I did like Manchester and London and all that, and like people, when I did like BBC News or when I'm at the college and like people we talking about Maryland, and it's like I always like reference, I'm from East Baltimore, like yo, these people thousands of miles away, they don't even know. They don't even know. You talking about one segment of town, so it's like I don't know. It's a love. It's a love thing.
But keep rapping like you do.
I love where I come from.
Keep rapping because New York dudes will sit there, Crown Heights, 125th, and you be like, what are you talking about? We don't care. Like,
right.
Keep
trying to stop C7 dash.
Right.
Backport.
Right. Exactly. So if I want to be like yo, Walbrook Junction, West Side, and you want to say down the hill, like yo, that's our city. That's what we do. So today, of course, as y'all know, my process in curating the great culture of Baltimore, the art. And the people that make it happen, from the business side to the music side to the writers, to the media, and you are definitely one of those legends that we had to bring in. Somebody, I feel like you're a legend in your time, but you still haven't even completely built your world yet. You know what I mean? Because you still kind of, not saying you want to come up, you kind of there. You know what I'm saying? You on
That's crazy, bro. I'm on to come up. I feel like I want to come up. I want to come up because I got a chance to taste the world. So it's like I've been blessed that so for people who don't know me, who might be watching this or watch this, is this live or no?
Nah, it's
okay.
Putting it out.
All right, bet. So people who are gonna watch this, who don't know me, I'm a college professor at University of Baltimore, a fellow at Johns Hopkins University, New York Times best-selling author, New York Times editor's choice of 2 books, The B-Side and The Cook-Up, and then I work in television, so I wrote segments for different news shows. You might see something like Race in Baltimore on a network like MSNBC and CNN. So I wrote stuff like that. But then I also, I've been on tour for 3 years for both of those books. And I've been in 250 schools and jails over the last 3 years. So it's all that is it's amazing. I'm thankful, I'm blessed, but at the same time, it's grunt work. I'm at the bottom. I got a chance to see people get paid 10 times for doing what I do, so I know I'm working towards that level, because mainly I know when I get those resources, I get a chance to show love to a lot of people that don't get them, and I know I really want to make my mark in television, and I really want to make my mark in film, and I really want to include people, everyday Baltimore people who not really, I ain't got nothing against celebrities, I just don't like to be around them like that, so I'm a regular dude, so I fuck with regular people. And I know that if I get a chance to make my mark in TV and film, I can rock with we can vibe with a whole lot of people, and that's why I feel like I want to come up, because I ain't get there yet.
Word. I remember one of the first time. Well, I remember meeting you first when you came through to speak with Raven on her show on Love the Culture, but it was the time that you came in.
Shout out to Lil Raven.
Word.
Lil Raven.
She doing it right now. But when you came in for my dog Al Greats, Whose World Is This podcast, which I felt like was one of the illest podcasts I had ever heard.
Yeah,
he was so
I wonder why they stopped that. That joint was live, man.
It was internal beef, yo. They had some beef.
It was live.
I swear to God, I hope he bring it back. Cause
everybody on there was a good dude, though, man. Q and Steve, they some good brothers, man.
Right. It was a phenomenal show. They had you on as a guest, and y'all was live in there. And I was like, wait a minute, yo. D. Watkins he live like that. You open and talking. You weren't. It wasn't like you was edited, and then you weren't wilding. But yo, you were very honest, straightforward, and raw. Giving out information and and just showing love. And I was just like, bro, this is a real person. you just as well as I do know that the image you see on Instagram, Facebook, and in the videos don't always line up with the real person. And to me, it seems like you are. It's hard to put into words, but you're a real dude.
You know, Baltimore is crazy because it's like so everybody that was on that podcast, I didn't grow up with them. Mm-hmm. So like you can be from like Robinson and Jefferson Street. Mm-hmm. They could be from like Dickey Land. Both of y'all might be doing y'all thing, but y'all might not even know each other. Y'all might never heard of each other because Baltimore is such a neighborhood town.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Some of us know people in every neighborhood, but then some of us are some dudes really block, like really neighborhood dudes. Mm-hmm. So like I think that like they might didn't know me like before I was a public figure. So all they really got to go off of is me as a public figure. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the information that's out there is like, oh yeah, he's a public intellectual. He does academic work. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, yo, like they don't really have like, you know, unless they know somebody that know me, they can't really put who I am in context. And when they meet me, they be like, oh yeah, you're not an asshole. And I'm like, nah, like on some old school shit like I learned when I was a little kid. Like, yo, life is easier when you just treat everybody like they Jesus. Mm-hmm. Fuck, I gotta go around being a dickhead for. If I got all the money in the world or no money, I'm the same person. Like if I gotta play and I can put you on, I know I'm gonna do that, and God willing, you would do the same thing. And that's what this being black shit's supposed to be about. Like niggas really be getting caught up in that whole I gotta be the man. Like, yo, anybody that know me as a writer in Baltimore City know, like, I'm talking about the writing community. There's like a small black writing community here, but it's like, yo, I throw all the oops I can and throw all the plugs I can, because if I'm gonna go out there and talk to these kids about telling their story and repping their community or being critical thinkers and learning all of these different things and being able to better themselves, if I'm not gonna be a nigga that's gonna help with their resume or help with the plug or help with the connection or help with the idea, all of that shit is connected to me. So it's like, you know, people get surprised because like it's like some people never knew me from Baltimore, like that's from Baltimore, until like somebody was like, oh yeah, he was on Oprah magazine, Oprah thing or something like that. Right. They be like, oh, he was on that, like, oh my God, that's yo. But the whole time, like, yo, their producers notice me as nothing. I'm the same, like, as I'm not special. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm your cousin. I'm your homie. Like I'm that guy. It just happened. They just noticed my work.
You are. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Now, this is the process of part of my show is. I want to know what, all the way from the beginning, when you was born, you were born East Side, raised East Side, right?
Yeah, I lived in West Baltimore twice in my life. One time, so I used to own this liquor store. All right, yeah, I'm from East Baltimore. I'm from East Baltimore.
Wait a minute, we gonna get into the owner of the liquor store. I definitely want to get into that, but you're an East Side dude. All right, so before you could touch the radio, before your parents would allow you to control the music in the household, before you were able to have your own device to listen to music, what was the music being played? What was the environment like?
So like my dad used to listen to a lot of hip hop, like a lot of like Slick Rick and all that, and you know I used to Dougie Fresh, Rock Kim, and I used to vibe with it. Like I used to like it, but then also like, you know, people in my family, I got a lot of gangsters in my family. People in my family be having like parties and all that, and they'd be like you know, I come from a drug family. You know what I'm saying? So like they be banging up, they be banging up on all that, but they be listening to like solid as a rock, or like Atlantic Star, like you know what I'm talking about, girl, you're like the sun, chasing all the rain away. You know what I mean? So I mean, I be laughing when people be like, yo, drug music make drug dealers. No, yo, these real gangsters were sitting around the projects or sitting around these row houses with big automatic weapons, big plates of coke, listening to solid, or Luther Vandross, all that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it ain't the music, bro. It's more the environment. But they would listen to that. So, boom. My big brother get locked up, and this rapper dropped this album, and and I talk about this because this is when music like changed my life. This is when music became like intricate in my existence. This rapper dropped this album, it had this song, right? The song was called New York State of Mind. The rapper name was Nas, and the album was Illmatic. And when I listened to it, I'm like, damn, was he being around the way? Everything he said sounds so clear. It just reminded me of home. And I'm playing it to my brother on the phone while he locked up. And he like, yo, run that back, run that back, run that back. And I'm on the phone as a kid bumping Illmatic 35, 40 times in a row. Other people in the jail, Boys Village, like, yo, let me hear that. Let me hear that. Other people, let me hear that. Let me hear that. And I'm bumping it, and it's like crazy. And I just started looking at like the world in a different way. And that was like the first time I felt like my experience wasn't mine. I felt like my experience or the people around my way, it wasn't just our experience. This is an experience for people like at other places too. So that was my big introduction. So it was first I was like, I like music, I listened to it, but then when I heard that, it became a part of me.
So Nas was like the first experience with hip hop, or was that was the experience that really changed your perspective on it?
That I feel like as a kid, we loved, like as a black kid, so Baltimore City is a 65% black city. When you pour, it's 100. Like I didn't know no white people coming up except for like housing police, you know what I'm saying, and maybe like social workers or something. But what I'm saying is like with Nas, so hip hop was a part of me,
right?
But Nas is when I became a part of it. I'll just say that.
Right, I wish you on that. All right, so I'll give you an example of where because. Let's see. I grew up in the 80s. I'm 79. I was born 79.
You 79 years old?
No, I was born in 79. I was born in 79.
Vegan or something.
Yeah, right. So I eat a lot of pussy. But
that's not vegan.
That's true. But like my brother used to really be in the Run DMC, Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? Who else? It was just a whole...
I can make those references too, bro. Because right, but I'm saying like Crush Groovin' was like that was the film.
Right, definitely. But it didn't. It was like, oh yeah, I rock with it, but it really didn't. It wasn't like I played it 1,000 times. If I heard it, I rock with it, whatever. But like you said, it was Nas' second album for me that really got me into it. That really made, because that was the first CD, hip hop CD that I bought. And it's like I played that 1,000 times. Like him writing from the perspective of the gun. You know what I'm saying? If I Rule the World. And like, you know what I'm saying? There's just so many things. Even when the introduction to the firm and how he brought Foxy and how he brought AZ into the mix. All of that stuff really affected me. And the sound of it was so clean. It was just a vibe. So that's why it's so important. That's why I asked the question, because we will experience a lot of stuff, but it's those records that penetrate you, that make you go, that make you stop, and make you dress different. It might, you know what I'm saying? You gonna see the nigga album cover, you can be like, yo, I gotta get the cut, I gotta get the part in my hair or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So once you get into that and you're into Nas, how does that inform your next steps? Like,
Slick Rick storytelling was more fun with the kids and the crowd. But Nas came with like, pulled the Mac up, told niggas back up, the Mac jam, pulled zip back, saw 3 bullets caught up in the chamber, and now I'm jetting through the building lobby, and it was full of children, probably couldn't see as high as I be. Which said, this nigga how I know this cokehead says she gotta smoke nice rock, and if it's good, she'll give you customers and measuring pots. Yo, like I'm saying, like that shit was like, it was a different level. So I think like for me, like I said, I think it just started so at that early age, I think the effect, and to answer the question, is that's when I started like actualizing and like realizing my own place in society. Okay, you this kid. Okay, you connected to these people that hustle, do this, that, and the third. Okay, you got these clothes, you got this polo and this health figure. Okay, you know that, if you walk to an older woman with confidence, she's going to treat you like you older. You know, if you like, I just started to realize, like, because a lot of times we just living. Right. That's when I just started to realize, like, yo, I'm a character in this game. Which path am I going to take?
That's ill. I didn't
realize. And music did that. Like, music did that. Word. Because the books wasn't accessible.
Facts.
When we gave us books, they didn't give us shit that talked about our experiences, so we couldn't see ourselves.
And there weren't writers of that time that created stuff that we were interested in.
Bro, they was out there. We just didn't know them. They was there.
Word.
Dudes like Nathan McCarroll, Make Me Wanna Holler. If you'd have read that back in the 90s, it'd have blew your mind. And you would have been the person that would have showed probably even more interest to what some of your educators tried to offer you because you had that experience. It wasn't out there. Coldest Winter Ever came out in the 90s. If I would have read that in the 90s, like, I didn't read that book until I was like, you know what I'm saying, almost 30, bro. Like,
you know what I read in the 90s? I was reading Pimp. And what was it called? He was like a
all
series
the Donald Goins.
Yeah, all the Donald Goins now. I was like, but that story is like 60s and 70s.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine if you was reading a book in the 90s about a dude that was like from West Baltimore in the 90s that was like trying to figure out a positive life even though he know how to get money in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Going through the struggles of dealing with family issues and the system and society and understanding systemic racism and white supremacy and how these things work. But he a fly nigga too. He got ill sneak. Imagine reading that in high school.
Word. Yeah, that was.
You know, but that's what's happening with my books right now.
Like, do you feel like the kids aren't connecting to it? Or?
No, they are.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, imagine if you had that.
Right.
We didn't have that because when we was coming up, teachers was giving you like Shakespeare and like Huckleberry Finn or something.
Right. What they felt was
they was standard or the Crucible. They wasn't giving you like books like the Cook Up and the B-Side. They wasn't having it. Like they weren't having it. So now it's a lane for those books. So dudes, look, I was at Patterson, the kid was reading the book. I was like, damn, this whole chapter about my uncle Free. You know Free? And I'm like, yo, go back and look at Free Facebook page or more. That's the homie. Like when he got killed, a part of me died. That's you know. So now not only you met an author that has like toured the world with this shit, but this nigga's in your classroom and he knows your uncle and he giving you all the attention that you deserve because he loves you, because he's a part of you.
Fact.
That shit is transformative at a level so high that the school system don't even understand that shit. They still trying to decode it.
So let's go back. So now, you know, Nas is in your life. You're starting to understand the world in a different place. You're starting to look at your place in the world differently. Like, how do we go from that to you picking up pen and paper and starting to put together ideas?
Yeah, that's years away. That's years away. So I was a kid, and my brother was clicking. You know, he was doing his thing, and he basically taught me that I wasn't a street guy. So even though I wanted to be a street guy because everybody looked up to him and my cousins and everybody wanted to be like them and they was doing anything, he was like, yo, that's not you. You can do something different. So I said, you know what? You know, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna go to college. So I worked really hard in high school. Like by the time I was like a junior, I was working really hard. Like, yo, I'm gonna make it up out of here. So like we would have like 8 classes. I would only go to 3 classes because like 5 of my classes was teachers that was just playing. Like they was goofy. Like they was like, you know what I'm saying, like wasting time. But then I had like 3 teachers that had like pictures of their college on a wall and little college pennants and little ideas on success. So I was like, yeah, I might as well just spend the whole day sitting there. That way I don't gotta be with the riffraff. Right. That way I can graduate and get to the money, because my brother says that one day everybody's gonna have a computer. I think he's lying, because a Dell computer at this time is like 10 bands.
Facts.
But he said everybody's gonna have one. He was right. We all walking around with these joints right now. So
your brother's a freaking genius. Yeah. Shout out to my brother who was on that same tip when I was young. He used to like, yo, the computer's about to be the internet. It's about to take over. And I'm like, what the hell is the internet?
I'm like, people don't even got $20. I didn't even get 10 bands to play this game. So anyway, I had this teacher named Mr. Cooney, right? He's an old white dude with a long beard. And everybody was in his class joking, and y'all had like a nervous breakdown. He was like, I trained kids in Roland Park for top dollar to take the SAT, and I'm giving it to you guys just on a regular day. You don't even care. And everybody laughing like, you're ugly, you're dumbass, right? So I go back at the class, and I'm like, yo, the SAT, how much you charge those kids? So he was like, huh? And I said, the SAT, how much did you charge them? So he said, well, if you want to send it, you can do it for free. And I'm like, nah, I don't want that for free, because I don't really, I ain't with the favor shit. Like, what you need? So he told me the price, so I paid the rate, and I took it, and I got into a bunch of schools. Loyola was like where I ended up trying to go, but I got to Georgetown, I got to College Park, I got into a bunch of really good schools, and I wanted to go to Georgetown, but I didn't, because I ended up staying home for a year. My brother got killed. Paying for that information and understanding, again, I see myself, and I see what people who I care about seeing me. Right. So how am I going to put myself on this path to get what I want? And I did the work, and I got into them schools, and then my brother got murdered, and that just fucking fucked me up for a whole year, even longer. But I didn't want to go to college anymore. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do nothing but stay in my room and smoke and just drink and be by myself. Like, I wanted to be left alone. And one of my homies was like, yo, you gotta do something. Like, you about to ride away. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna try. So that's when I ended up trying to go to Loyola. And like I said, coming from East Baltimore, you know, I'm not just a regular nigga. I'm like a super nigga. Like, I eat fried chicken with a side of fried chicken, nigga, like super nigga. You know what I'm saying? So
fried
like
chicken with a side of fried chicken.
Real, like, you know what I mean? Like, Hennessy's a part of me. So like growing up, you know what I'm saying? I never had no experiences with white people like that. So I go to the school full of white people, and I think it's crazy. They like play acoustic guitar and hacky sacky, and like I be like walking down the hallway, like, hey, what's up? And they look back like, and I be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know, they don't know how to say hello. So the shit was so weird to me that I called my homie when he dropped out of school. He dropped out of Hampstead when he was like, in the 7th grade or 8th grade, and never went to school because he already started hustling. So I told him, like, yo, come kick it with me up here. Let me know I'm not crazy. So he would hang around campus and wait for me to get out of class. And he was like, yeah, you're not crazy, yo. These people weird as fuck. And I'm like, yo, I'm ready to stop. And he was like, I don't blame you. So I quit school, and that's when I started hustling.
So in that process, because we don't need to get into the history of it, you know what I mean, what ends up affecting you so much that you pick up the pen and paper? Because in the streets, it is a psychological nightmare. Not only just the legal parts of it, but just trying to maintain the sanity while you're going through it.
Yeah, I'm competitive, so like a lot of stuff that I did was like for sport. Not, you know, intentionally, because I didn't understand who I was, but, you know, it's just, you know, you move in a certain way. And I think if I'm jumping to the pen, to, you know, to where I get to picking up the pen at, is if you are lucky enough, and this is like to the kids who think about this, if you're lucky enough to make it in the street as a street guy, street girl, past 25, you need to start thinking, because that clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? And it's a young man's game. It is not an older person's game. Like I just remember, like, dudes, like serious dudes that's gone right now. I ain't gonna say their names, but like my homie, like he had like a 50-inch vertical and it was fast as shit. Run from cops and slide under cars, and blow your shit off, and then climb over a gate and do a something over a mattress, like fucking on some parkour shit. Like, yo, like if niggas are, you don't know what parkour is? It's like Russian street gymnastics. Like, yo, so wild.
Mixed with a little fighting shit too.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't for no nigga with a hurt back. Right. Trying to run down the street, trying to go hit a cell, and your fucking ankle swollen, and you got fucking
you jumping off roofs, you bouncing back and forth off walls.
Type 6, fucking high blood pressure or some shit. Like, that shit ain't for the old nigga. We supposed to be fucking kicking back and chilling. So when you get older, you know what I'm saying? You see the world in a different way. And I know when I got older, like, I saw no value in nothing I was doing, and I started to hate myself and who I was around, even though some of these people love me. And I was like, yo, I need to do something different. And then, you know, that book, did I talk about when I started writing yet? Or was that
nope.
Yeah, sure, I did. It's like my third interview.
No, it's all good. Take your time, bro. Take your time.
So this what happened. So I went to college. So this what happened. I told myself I'm never going to hustle again. And I had a little bit of money saved up, so I bought this liquor store. 1046 West Lombard Street, called Stadium Hideaway. And I thought, like, damn, I can sell, you know what I mean? I can hustle, so I know how to, you know what I'm saying? I can figure out how to sell alcohol to people that drink alcohol. It's addictive. It used to be easy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not making no money. I bought the bar, I bought the liquor license and all that, and like I never had a job before. So like even like the whole process going through the mortgage broker and all that, like this was like 2005 for me, and she had like all the paperwork, this whole identity for me that wasn't really true, and I didn't know. But she told me this is how everybody do it. So I'm just this kid. I just know how to get capital. So I bought the store, and I told my best friend, we got a big fight. I'm like, yo, I don't hustle no more. I'm not a drug dealer, bro. I run this liquor store, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I be watching the game, some chill shit. So we got a fight over that, but at the end of the day, he respect me, like I respect him. Rest in peace. but he respect me like I respected him. So we went our separate ways. So I'm thinking, boom, I buy the liquor, people gonna come buy it. It's a Korean bar on this side, I'm in the middle, and then it's this white bar called like Bill's 70s and 60s Club or some shit on the other end of the block. You know what I'm saying? They got the hillbilly, make America great type crowd. So like, boom. So the niggas gonna fuck with me, and the niggas was fucking with me on the lounge tip, but everybody who got cut rate went to the Koreans because they had the best prices.
Right.
Like, I don't know how they did it. Like, if I'm getting a bottle for $14, I'm gonna try to sell it for like $15.
Right.
They getting a bottle for $14, they selling the shit for $14.10. If the shit go on sale, they're gonna adjust their price to match the sale. We think when they go on sale, we can make a little extra more.
Right.
They adjust their shit to the sale. So I don't know how they did it, bro, but they was killing me. So I'm like, damn, I gotta figure out how to make some money. So
hold up, before you even get to that, we gonna take a break. We got commercials that we gotta run to. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Aries Lounge Podcast. D Watkins in the building. You about to get the scoop on how this nigga made this shit work. Y'all keep it locked. Let's go.
Put it on a scale, do numbers. Put it on a scale, do numbers. Put it on a scale, do numbers. Play with them keys, piano. 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 Put it on a scale, do numbers. Put it on a scale, do numbers. Put it on a scale, do numbers. Put it on a...
It's your boy JS One Supplier, Aries Lounge Podcast, VBCRadio.com. We back in the building. I got the man D Watkins in this joint, man. How you feeling?
Blessed, brother. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you for taking the time. So, look, before we went to break, you were telling us about having your bar, trying to sell liquor, things not going well. Continue, I'm sorry.
First legal business, like a rental property, which I ain't really gonna call it a business because you're not really like, you're doing stuff with it, but it's not every day when you got one property. But the bar was my first business. I'm not in the streets no more. Not even thinking about it. I'm gonna run this liquor store. I'm gonna do my thing, and I really wasn't getting money like that. The store was called Stadium Hideaway. I was gonna change the name, but I kept it the same. And we had like you come into the store and you can look through the glass and you can get all your cut rate, whatever, little chips and whatever, a little fifth of Hennessy, whatever you need. But at the same time, it can buzz you back. You can come in the lounge and kick it.
Ooh.
So I got behind at my homies, party promoters, to bring a bunch of people over there to have parties. And we starting to make a little bit of money, but we not really doing well.
Right.
So it was like 3 big poker machines in the spot, and the machines had a number on the back. There was a deal the dude had with the previous owner, and it wasn't my deal. So I said, yo, we trying to throw parties in here, so you gotta get these machines out of here. So I called him up. Yeah, you gotta get the machines out of here, bro. They gotta go. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna come down there and holler at you. So like a day later, this dude comes to the store, white dude with a real tight suit on. This is before everybody was wearing tight suits. He got a tight suit on him, real fitted, you know what I mean? So he's touching the glass, and because I had the glass redone when I bought the store, I had the floor redone, I remodeled. Like, I'm the type of person when I go into a spot, like I gotta be around, I can't be in like a fucked up spot.
Yeah, it can't be no slum.
Like, not the way I work, I need to be lounging and shit. So I had the spot redone, so he's looking like, oh my God, look what you done with this place. You do interior design? I'm like, nah, cuz, who are you? He's like, oh, you called about the machines. So I'm looking through the glass like, you ain't dressed to move no machine. You know what I'm talking about? So he was like, yo, can I come in? So I buzzed him in. So we sit down and we talking for a minute. He's like, yo, the machines are very lucrative, more lucrative than the bar. This is before Baltimore had a casino.
Right.
So he's like, yo, if you pay people out on these machines, we can make a lot of money together. So I'm like, nah, man, because, like, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I just got out of illegal life. I'm not doing nothing illegal.
Right.
He ought to know, when you don't go to jail, what happens is if you get caught paying out, the cops will come through and take your machines and all the money out your register. We'll give you the money in your register, and we'll give you, you know what I'm saying, the money, we'll give you brand new machines.
Right.
We cool. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, that's the move? He said, that's the move. So I said, yeah, I'm good, man. Because, again, I'm from East Baltimore, and I hadn't had no relationships, like real relationships with like people outside of my day ones. This weird white guy with a tight suit talking about we gonna get this money together was just a strange thing for me.
Right.
So he said, check this out. I'll loan you $5,000, right? You can pay me back out of the machine, and if it's a lucrative thing, and we just get money together. I just want to do that as a gesture to let you know I'm serious. So I said, well, I don't need $5,000. What are you talking about? Like, I don't need a loan. I'm trying to throw parties, bridal showers and shit. get the machines out of here. They're taking up too much space. Okay, I'll loan you $10,000. Bro, I don't need a loan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get the machines out of here. You know, now I'm telling you, he told me talk to the lady I bought the bar from. It's, you know, it's a good move and all that. And, you know, and I did call her and she said, no, the machines is where the money is. But I'm like, if that's the case, I got my own money because mind you, I'm still fresh out the street. I can buy my own.
Right.
So he's like, okay, I tell you what, I loan you $15,000. You pay it back out the machine, and you know we can do this and do that and the third, and we're gonna make a lot of money together. I said, cuz I'm good. He said, I'll give you $15,000. Let's just try it for 6 months or a year or something like that. So I was like, you gonna give it to me? I said, fuck it, okay.
Yeah, right.
So he did bet. He said, you're not gonna regret this. Like, you know, so he goes to his bag. He goes to his car and come back with a bag. Go dip in the bag and start writing a check. And I'm like, what's that? Oh, I'm just writing you a check. And I'm like, I don't do checks like that. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry. You know, so he leaves. He comes back with the cash. And we started doing our thing with the machines, and we started making money, and that's where the money came from. And I'm saving money, and I'm trying to like buy other properties, and it was really good for me. And I didn't feel anything because I wasn't there. But when I was there, I started seeing that the machines was just as fucked up as the liquor, which is just as fucked up as the drug. Like all of this shit is bad. Like if we drinking socially, we doing our thing, that's cool. But it's people. Like I used to have people lined up out the bar at 6 o'clock in the morning, city workers to get their 40s. Like that shit was sad to me. So one night, this dude who used to work for this liquor supplier who used to like sell me like a bunch of stuff like under the table. So he would steal like 5 cases of Grey Goose or something from like his distributor, and he would give them to me at a dirt price. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm meeting this dude. You know, I'm meeting this dude or whatever, and mind you, the machines is getting money, but I'm still trying to cut corners because I'm in business. So I'm meeting this dude, and I'm never in the store, but this particular time I'm in the store, and I'm like putting stuff away, and I'm stocking stuff, and I'm doing all that. And I see this lady from the neighborhood named Pat. Pat, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good, baby. Machine beating my ass, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And she got her work uniform on. And when you playing my machines, I used to give you like free drinks. So she would drink like a beer, like a honey jack, and I would, you know, have all that free because you put money in the machine.
Right. So
she playing the machine, and I'm putting this stuff away, and I come back, and she's sitting there slumped, like, so what's wrong? She said, I just work 90, 100 hours, overtime, whatever salary. I put my whole check in that machine, it's gone. I'm flat broke. I don't know how I'm going to get through the next week and a half, 2 weeks, or whatever. So I said, damn. So I said, stay right here. So I go in the back of the store, and I come back out with like $500 or something, right? So I said, you know what, boom, take this. You can pay me back when you don't got to us on you. I don't really care. Just do what you got to do. We good. You know, you're a good customer. We cool. So I go back in the back to finish doing what I was doing. I come back out. She put the fucking money in the machine and lost again.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, and I said, I don't want to do this no more, bro. I said, I don't want to do this no more. So I sold the bar. Like I saw that was enough for me. I sold the bar, and then I was in college, and when I sold the bar, I went to the University of Baltimore, and that's kind of around the time I had complications from the time I got hit, and I had a little surgery, and that's the time when I was in the hospital, and I'm in a hospital, and the nurse is like moving around the room, like working, but this is like before iPads, so she doing everything on like a clipboard, you know what I'm talking about? And the whole time she checking her vitals and all that, she got this book stuck to her face, and I said, damn, that's a good ass book. She said, oh, you would love this book. Why you say that? She said, it's about you and your friends, thugs. I said, I ain't no thug. She said, why everybody come in and see you smell like weed, even the girls? And I was like, they got cataract. So we tripping. You know, in the hospital, ain't nothing on TV, so you can go to sleep early. They don't play nothing but fucking Matlock and that dumbass shit. Right. So, I mean, Matlock probably good to like my grandmother age type. But I mean, I'm not watching that shit. So I fall asleep. She's gone. I wake up the next morning. She leave the book on my bedside. I pick the book up. I start thumbing through pages. Mind you, I'm not a read. Like now, I can probably read like 600 pages a day. I can probably do like 2 novels, 2 nonfiction books in a day now. Because right now I'm serious. But back then, 50 pages was a struggle for me. So like the fact that this book was like 300 some pages and I read it in like 3 days was like a big thing. I didn't know you can write books like that. I didn't even know. Right. So that blew my mind, and that turned me into a reader. So that had me reading, you know, everything about Sister Soldier, and then reading writers that she would reference, and then reading other books with the same subject matter, like Clockers and Lavish Life and stuff like that, to reading the authors they reference, like the beatniks, like William Burroughs, and you know what I'm saying, reading On the Road and Naked Lunch and stuff like that, to hearing them talking about they was inspired by Dostoevsky, so I'm reading like Dostoevsky and The Idiot and like fucking 900-page novels. Like I'm really reading like crazy, because it's like almost like I'm addicted. Right. Yeah. And in that process, I started writing articles. I started reading articles, and when I was reading articles, I was like, yo, there's a lot of white people at the Baltimore Sun writing stories about black people and don't even know them. It's black people at the Baltimore Sun talking about neighborhoods they don't know nothing about. They putting dialogue in their articles, and I know you ain't talk to nobody because these niggas around here don't even talk like that.
Facts.
So where you even getting this quote from? You just heard some shit and you making it up as you go. Say no fucking BT movie, motherfucker. This nigga's real life.
Right.
And at the time, I was into history as well. And what I know about history is that one of the primary sources that historians use, contemporary historians use, is newspapers. So you telling me if you're going to dig East Baltimore up in 300 years and all you got to look and see what the fuck we was talking about, what we was doing was like some shit from some fucking area. Yeah, or who don't give a fuck about the area. Right. Yo, that's criminal. And that's when I was like, yo, I'm going to stop. I'm going to pick the pen up. I'm gonna tell these stories. I'm gonna do my thing, and it came together to me when I was fucking with Lano, the rapper Lano, because I knew Lano, and I knew his brother. I knew WJZ Dad well. You know what I'm talking about? So when one day I'm in San Francisco, and I'm thumbing through I'm reading Baltimore Sun on my phone, and they got a story about Dev, and it's not a good story because Dev was a good nigga with a good family, with a good mother and good brothers and all that. Like, you dragging this man, you talking about, this guy whose name was mentioned in this indictment or this thing or that thing was murdered, and he was popular for dirt bikes. No, talk about the schools that nigga visited. Talk about how he was about to do the same type of deal that Chino did. Talk about, you know what I'm saying, his brother who loves him in his music career. Talk about the people he inspired. Talk about his talent and his skill set. That nigga's a human. You talking about this nigga like he a thing. Yet if WJZ Dad was a white boy, you gonna fucking break your heart. You gonna put your heart into making sure he's a human, but as a black person, you don't get to be a human, and that's the problem. So I'd call Lano myself. I wrote the story on Dad. He got a chance to give it to his mom and give it to his family, and people was like, yo, that's love, and it was like a good thing, and that was like the ultimate thing that validated me. And what I was doing was like, yo, you gotta fucking, you know what I'm saying, get this shit to the people that need it and tell the stories that's accurate and correct, because this shit gonna live like past all of us.
So once you got into that space and you start writing, because now you pick the books, you reading, now you start writing, what makes you keep going after that? So like you write something, people resonate to it, so what's the next step? Is it like, oh, I'm gonna start blogging? Was it like
Well, one, just getting into the game, I shouldn't gloss over that part. It's the hard. Like, I signed my first book deal probably like in 2000. I signed to my literary agent back in like 2012. I didn't get a book deal till like 2014. So that's 2 years of writing every day and somebody telling you, no, you're not good enough.
So, okay, so you said literary. All right, so who was the company you signed with first? I mean, not the company, you don't have to be the company, but what was it? What type of deal was the first one?
It was I signed with a literary agent to sell my book to a major publisher.
Okay, so like, did they see some examples of some writing and then say...
Yeah, I sent her a query letter and a sample of my work, but I didn't just send it to her, I sent it to 700 agents. Because if you want your book to be in the front of Barnes and Nobles and the front of like the big bookstores and stuff like that, then it has to be put up through a major publisher. Gotcha. You're not going to be able to get a chance to have your work seen by a major publisher unless you have an agent. You're not going to be able to get an agent unless you got a skill set. And you're going to have a lot of patience to get an agent, because one thing that every person in this country think they can do is write. Facts. So you got to beat out. It's not like basketball where you like nice, but you got to beat 1,000 niggas. It's like, nigga, you in America, you got to beat the 200 million niggas. Like, because everybody think they can do your job. You know what I'm saying? So I submitted to like 700 agents, and I met like maybe 10 of them that wanted to work with me. And this one agent, Barbara, from Aries Literary Agent, she signed me, and she thought I was talented, and she liked me as a person. and she offered me a deal. I mean, she offered me not a deal, but she offered to represent me.
Right.
She had to go in and out of offices in New York for 2 years before I even, a year before anybody considered me, and 2 years before I actually got a deal.
So tell me what were you sending her? Like you said, you sent examples of your work. What were you putting together?
So I sent her. I was trying to get her to sell my memoir, The Cook Up, which actually was the first book I sold, even though the B-side came out first, which was a different deal in a different situation. But what I was sending her was like the first 10 chapters of The Cook Up. And she would present that to publishers.
Right.
And like they would be like, all types of shit would come back. Like, yo, we think he can write, but we don't think people care. Or we think he's talented, but like, is he even gonna be alive to finish the book? Like all types of wild shit.
That's disrespectful.
All types of shit. And if the content was hitting like that, like that's how the content hit. Cause like even around the time, like after I signed with her, like I wasn't even in no shit, but like I was coming out SOS, my car window got banged out. Like somebody was trying to shoot somebody, and my little car window was in the way. I was mad as shit because I'm like, damn, my deductible high as shit. I gotta pay for this shit. Like I'm trying to get you for that, but it's my deductible money. But not saying they was right in what they were saying because, like, if I was a white kid from the rough side of the tracks,
that wouldn't have been a conversation.
It would have been like a romantic American story, but being as though I'm a nigga, it's like, fuck yo, like, you know what I mean? Do we want to invest in yo? But I got a deal, and I sold the Cook Up, and when I sold the Cook Up, I didn't get like a lot of love, from the publishing company. Like they treated me like, like a bottom guy, but I still kept trying to publish articles places, and after I signed that book deal, I ended up publishing in the New York Times and Rolling Stone and all of these big respected places. And then the people who signed me for the Cook Up started giving me more respect. Like, yo, let's put some more money in this project. Let's send him on the road a little bit. Let's pay attention to him because he not just happy he got a book deal. He got a book deal. He finished his book, and then he put out some other shit. And then the biggest thing that really got him upset was like, when the B-side, I signed a deal for that because the publishing company who was reading me in New York Times and reading me at other publications, The Guardian and all that, they was like, damn, we really like yo. We want to put a book out. We want to debut him. So let's just give him some money and let's be his debut and let's get him out. And they put that book out. And then while the other company had me on the shelf, this other company tried to, with less resources, put me on a pedestal, and then I ended up writing a New York Times bestseller, blew everybody's mind, fucked the game up, and then they started treating me like a different person and showing love to me, and then and then from the way they were showing me love is kind of how I first got into like writing television and all that.
You write television too?
Yeah, I write television.
That's lit. Duh. I knew you were working for the Sun. Like I knew you did some national pieces. You know what I mean? Because I've seen you on television. I've seen your name in some of the credits. But like, wow, that's insane. So, sitting down for the process of completing the first book, because there's a lot of kids that watch it, and one of my biggest things I want to educate kids. I mean, not kids, just people in general. How did you get through the first book? Like how? Like what did it take? Like give me the details. Come on, the grungy stuff.
So I'm gonna tell the kids straight up: if you want it, you can definitely do it, but you gotta do it. Like asking me that is like asking Kobe Bryant how he do 1,500 makes a day. Everybody not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a dream. Everybody you meet walking up and down the street, you can pull anybody aside. There's something out there that everybody wants. Everybody wants something. That's one thing we all share. That's a universal truth that connects us all. Everybody wants something, but 90% of the people ain't going to do what they got to do to get it. They just going to stop. They're not going to launch that podcast. They're not going to set the studio up. They're not going to submit it online. They're not going to. They're going to want it. They're going to say, "Damn, he doing his thing. I want to do my thing. Damn, they got a nice setup. Damn, they got a nice microphone. They want, but want the first little, or second, or third, or fourth, or 10th little obstacle is going to come their way, or 30th obstacle is going to come their way, and they ain't going to stop. And that's making the lane bigger for you and everybody else that's going to do it. So for me, I read so much stuff by the time I started writing my first book that I felt it. I'm like, yo, I can do this. I can do this. I have it in me to complete this. And, you know, I'm not going to say and fake like it was an easy process. I'm not going to fake like it just came to me. I'm just going to say that, like, some of them nights I got real mad and broke shit. Some of them nights I got real drunk. You know what I'm saying? Some of them nights I felt like I wasn't going to be able to get it done. But at the end of the day, overnight success stories take like 10, 20 years. So you got to remember that as you put that work in and just keep pushing forward. You can do it, but you got to do it. And most people won't because they can't.
Word.
That's the difference.
Kondwani said that you have to commit yourself to a schedule and stick to it. So if every Tuesday or every Friday you want to sit and write 1 page, 2 pages, you got to stick to it. He said that's the way he gets over the hump. He sets that schedule and he never deviates from it so that he can get. And he said, he was also saying, don't try to write in pieces. Whatever comes, let it, just let it be. Like if you thinking about writing the ending, then write the ending. If you're thinking about writing the beginning, don't feel like you got to be in a certain place. Do you follow that kind of same thought process, or is yours a little bit different?
Nah, because Connie has like a lot of self-imposed deadlines. My deadlines are from like different places, so I don't have the luxury of even having a schedule because I don't know what's going to happen in the news cycle. Yeah. I might get called to do something 3 o'clock in the morning, right. And like, sometimes I know the ending before like I know how I want to begin it. So I would definitely like agree with that. But Kondwani has the luxury of crafting the way he wants his pieces to come out because he knew in his career. People not pulling at him. Like people not saying, yo, you don't got NBC talking about taking a deposit back from you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you don't gotta like, Connie ain't had a shotgun to his head like that yet. Where like, yo, you wanna go out, but you can't. You know what I mean? Connie has seen me at times where he be at my house almost every day. And he been over there with me at times where like, everybody's about to go have fun and I can't. I need all you niggas to get far away from me. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta bang out these 2 articles because, this Trump whatever is about to plead guilty or this, Obama aid is about, some shit's about to crack and I gotta be the person
to report it.
From my perspective, you know what I mean? So they need that opinion. So, I used to be able to, I used to be like Connie. I used to be able to like, be passionate about like, certain topics. Now I gotta be passionate about everything that come my way because my name on it and it gotta come out.
Word. Now this is great and this is beautiful how we transition to this. How did you go from telling your story to becoming a political voice? Like how did you become a representation of the black community and that important voice? Like how did that? Because normally somebody can become writing their own personal story and it could be comedy or it could be whatever. Like, how did you become a voice like that?
I got a big interest in politics, and like one thing that I really, and I'm glad you asked that because it's a great question. One thing I really try to hone in on is that like I go on these news stations and these radio shows, and like especially like with a lot of white people, they always be like, yo, how's you the voice of the black community? And I'm like, yo, no, I'm not. I'm one guy. I'm my voice. There's a lot of people that agree with me, but they all got their own shit too. And they all smart, they all intelligent, they all do their thing, they all talk mad shit, they all fly. Like these people we the same and we different. Mm-hmm. So if a white person, if Tom Brady kick an infant in the face, you're not going to be like all white men kick infants. But if D. Watkins kicks an infant, then it's like, yo, that's how the black community feels about infants. And y'all not going to sit there and put me in no fucking box like that. Like, y'all not going to do that. And they try to do that to us all the time. And then some of these niggas, like, who get a chance to get a platform, they start thinking they can speak for you. They ain't never been through, you say you from Walbrook, they ain't never walked up one of your blocks, never in their life, but they saying, oh, he wants free education. He wants, he deserves a free certificate in typewriter maintenance. How the fuck you know what this nigga want? This nigga might just want a bottle of water. This nigga might just want a scholarship for us. You don't know what he want. Right. So why do you feel like because you on CNN or you on MSNBC, you get to just talk for everybody when everybody don't want the same thing? We want different things. Like we got our own voice and we ain't no such thing as no one black leader. Ain't no such thing as no, and we had black leaders before. What happened when every black person loved Dr. King? What happened when every black person loved Malcolm X? What happened with every black person left human music? All these niggas took headshots. So it's like, what you talking about? Like, everybody's a leader. Everybody can do their own thing. Everybody can make a difference. Everybody can champion whatever cause they want to champion. We don't subscribe to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We subscribe to, we as balanced as everybody else is.
I agree. So in this time period now, like, I feel like with the induction of President Trump into the space that he gotten into, that really catapulted a lot of political black voices. Because now, when you polarize a system like he has, it makes the extreme more relevant. So him coming in and being he hasn't verbalized his racism, but him being a racist has catapulted all of these black voices into a whole new stratosphere. Like, I know you hate Trump, but like, what is it like being a writer in that space? What is it like being a voice in that space?
I can't front. That first year he was in office, it was so funny that it made my job easy. All I had to do was just write a story about some dumb shit he did every day.
Right.
Like how unqualified and stupid this motherfucker is, and how there's no way in hell you should ever be president. So it was easy. The second year office, it got kind of difficult because I'm just tired of y'all. Like, I rarely write about Trump. Like, cause I'm just so, like, tired of y'all. Like, he's just so fucking, like, corny. Like,
Right.
It's like, how is this nigga still around? Like, so fucking weird. So voices definitely emerge, but these are people who don't represent segments of the population that I most identify with, because y'all talking about how y'all so hurt, how, you know, we had Obama and now we got Trump and how everything's so horrible. But I'm like, my nigga, if you want to keep it 100, we was poor under Bush, we
Facts.
was poor under Obama,
Facts.
and we poor under this Trump motherfucker. So I don't know what the fuck happened with your life. Where I'm from, Obama seemed like a cool guy, you know what I'm saying? Great wife, fucking beautiful kids and a dog and shit. But when he was president, niggas was still getting killed around my mother and them way. Niggas still getting killed around my mother and them way. So I don't really know what y'all talking about. But if you elite and black, then maybe you went to the White House with Obama, maybe you had like some tea, you know what I mean? Maybe you did maybe that shit was love and then you can't go back there no more. That's your struggle. I'm not knocking it, but it's not a universal struggle. You feel me?
Agreed. So even now, now that you're in this space, we got everything you said, this is what it is. How do you balance being, oh, I forgot, we got to go to a commercial. Damn, before we get into this gangster question, I got to go to commercial. Y'all keep it locked. Aries Lounge Podcast, bbcradio.com. D. Watkins in the building. Follow him at D. Watkins World. Isn't that right?
D. Watkins World. On all the social media.
That's it.
Stuff.
Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Let's go. Yo, we back. Aries Lounge Podcast, bbcradio.com. You know what I mean? Don't forget, I have 2 contests running right now. Yo, shout out to my dude, Ryan Branco. He's got a book that's about to come out. He's doing a giveaway. Pretty much, look, he said just like this. He said, you know, we trying to support each other. So make sure, if you haven't pre-ordered, you can pre-order his book. It's called The Mandela Machine. It's going to be on Amazon. You know what I mean? It's available for pre-order right now. If you would like to win it, we're going to pick the best comment in this video. So go down below, scroll down as far as you can, and then boom, in the comment section, drop a comment, or show D. Watkins some love. You know what I mean? We'll pick a comment from out of the comment section, and you can win a free copy of his brand new book. In addition to that, I'm giving away 3 music videos in the month of September. So make sure, if you would like to win a free music video, because I see a lot of y'all out here, y'all be dropping music, but I don't see y'all putting no visuals out. And I'm sick and tired of my mans out here giving y'all crazy specials, and y'all out here ain't got no visuals. So I'm about to make it happen for y'all. So look, if you want to get your video, you need to drop a comment, you need to subscribe to the channel, and you need to show some love to the video and let us know. Share the video, post it up, tell us what you like about it. I don't care. Just show us some love, and the people that show the best love, we're going to shoot something for you. You know what I'm saying? A whole music video sponsored by Aries Lounge, bbcradio.com, and King 9 Design. So, you're in this space, you've got all these, made all these accomplishments. People have a lot of different types of respect for you. But the music community has embraced you in a way that I haven't really seen in Baltimore. If outside of Baltimore and other parts of the world, authors and writers and creatives have this beautiful meshing and relationships. But now in Baltimore, this new world of music, you are an integral part of it, man.
Yo, shout out to Jay Wise. Jay Wise put me on his album.
Jay Wise is phenomenal.
Jay Wise,
shout out to him.
yo, Jay Wise doing his thing, man. Jay Wise is one of my favorite rappers in Baltimore. D Dave, definitely. Like,
hold up, don't forget to download Savage Humble. The Jay Wise album that just came out.
Humble Savage for sure, bro.
Definitely.
Humble Savage, but you know, D Dave definitely for sure. Young Moose, one of my favorites. I actually was the first writer in Baltimore to cover Young Moose as an artist. I was the first writer to put Young Moose in like papers that stretched outside of Baltimore.
Right.
And I wrote the first article that drew attention to the cop who was harassing Young Moose, and now that cop is on his way to federal prison. So like me, Brandon Soderbergh, and Baynard Woods constructed the articles on Daniel Herschel that actually led to his investigation. So we actually sent the cop to jail. That we sent the crooked cop that was terrorizing niggas to jail. Shout out to Moose. Herschel ticket 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But Young Moose definitely. FMG Dez, my brother. You know, I had a chance to be a part of his career, a part of his life. He influenced my art in a lot of ways. You know, real solid, good brother. My young boy, young Inky, you know what I mean? People be like, why you like young Inky? I'm like, yo, I used to be just like him when I was his age. Mm-hmm. I was the same thing with just less tattoos. So of course, like if Inky gets the opportunity to continue to grow and continue to learn and continue to come into his own, you don't know how great this young man can be. You don't know this guy can change the world. You don't know, but you cut us off. If you don't like how we act as a kid, like I posted the video of Deshaun, Justice for Deshaun, who got attacked by Officer Williams the other day. I was talking about it on his television show, and I shouted out Inky as I was giving my description of what happened, and the dude come in my comments like, yo, why you gonna support these day bullshit? And I'm like, first of all, cuz, why do you even ask me, like, who are you? Like, to even ask me that. But I ain't respond to him because I just don't. But I'm like, who are you to even ask me that shit? Too, this is a young man that's taking his destiny into his own hands by creating music about his environment. That's the same shit Frederick Douglass did. He didn't do music, but he wrote about it. It's the same thing. So, you know, Malcolm X when he was 20 is not, you know what I'm saying, Al-Malik Shabazz that we know to this day. Quincy Jones when he was 20 is not Quincy Jones that we know. Oprah when she was 20 is not the billionaire mogul that we celebrate. Motherfuckers got to mature and grow. So if you see somebody with some talents, invest in them, show love in them, and give them and be the person that you needed when you was trying to come up. So you know what I'm saying? So Moose, you know what I mean? Shout out to Moose, the whole OTM, the whole FMG, whole CTM, definitely Jay Wise. Shit, it's a lot of artists in Baltimore I got a lot of love for. I like Izzy. You know, one of my favorite Baltimore rappers right now. Definitely always big shout out to Scooter. Got mad love for Chino. Me and Chino working on the project with Jada Pinkett right now. You know what I'm saying? That's for the city though. You know what I mean? So it's like Jada Pinkett, boy, she flew me out at one different time and then Chino out another time to her and Will Smith mansion in Calabasas. That's real. That's, you know what I mean? Keeping it a buck, trying to make sure young people from the street shine, and then we gonna take our influence and be able to do stuff with other people. But definitely big shout out to, you know, always Scooter. But one of my favorite Baltimore rappers right now is a young kid, YGG Tech. He a problem. Like, he nice. Like, the world need to see how nice that kid is. So definitely big shout out to him. Like, for real. Like, I'm looking forward to whatever project that kid puts out. I think he's good. He's good.
He's a phenomenal. He's got an album out right now. It's called No Excuses. It's on all platforms.
I got that one.
And I think he's working on dropping another one. Now, he dropped a mixtape too, which was like industry beats and stuff like that. But and then he's done his round on every radio station. He's been on BBC Radio, DTLR, all of that. So shout out to him, man. He's a phenomenal dude.
No, I like that. I like that kid. But I think a lot of rappers like I don't know a lot of, like, the only West Baltimore rapper I knew personally like that was Scooter. And I met Scooter as a public figure. Like, I'm older than him, so I was already in the industry when I met him. But as far as like East Baltimore, I think I got a different type of connection with a lot of hip hop artists that's from East Baltimore, especially my young boy BME OG. He is a problem. Like, a lot of people don't know him yet. He from down the hill. Shorty's a problem. But I think I got like a lot of love and respect from a lot of rappers from East Baltimore because like they know me, they know my family, they know what I've been through. They see me like hand-to-hand combat. Like they already know what time it is, so they know if I get on camera and I talk about something, they like, yo, everything he talking about,
it's coming from a real place.
That's like I know him, so that's what he about. Or if they like, if he say he a good guy, so if he gonna try to help somebody, then he's gonna try to help somebody. Or they might say, oh, if he's out here and he's like talking to like kids, you know, should learn this and learn that, you know, because I used to teach at Baltimore City Public School, so the kids already know, like, yo, I told them real shit, like, you know what I'm saying? This is what you need to survive. So I think that's why a lot of people rock with me like that.
So name some writers locally outside of obviously Conjuani, of course, he's definitely one of your young boys. What other writers come out of Baltimore that are just ill that you really want to show love to?
Yo, Wallace Lane from Park Heights, nice poet, do his thing. Tarek Torre used to be the running back of Emerson back in the day. The Muslim cat, really, really sick with a pen. Cherie Booker got a book 9 years under. She's from like Northeast Baltimore. She's nice with it. Looking forward to her next project for sure. I know we're in Baltimore, but I gotta shout out my homie Tony Lewis in DC and Jason Reynolds. So Jason Reynolds running the publishing world right now. Tony Lewis is the most connected, most real, most genuine person I ever met as far as like a person that gives back to the community, has a talent as a speaker, as a writer, and is just like doing his thing. So I gotta shout Tony, I gotta shout Jason out. You know, always big shout out to Westmore. Westmore is like, you know, the blueprint for like having the clean image and the power of that. And like, you know, like being around Westmore and watching Westmore show me different ways I can look at myself in my own career. David Simon hooked me up with some cool people who wrote The Wire. He hooked me up with Michael Brownfather so we can work on a project. It ain't come out, but I got a chance to spend some time with Ferguson with some real people. And then David Simon put me on with some other people too. And when I have projects or when I needed to get interviews for work, when I started doing interviews myself, he made sure he came to New York and held me down. So definitely big shout out to David Simon. Yo, it's a you know, my young boy Scott is nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Scott on the come up. He go to School of Arts right now. He a senior. He on a poetry trip. He nice. Muhammad Tar, young cat, nice with it. He's vicious.
Yo, this is a crazy list. I didn't think that was that many.
Lady Breon on a poetry tip. She catch bodies. She's nice with it. Even Fire Angelou nice with it on a poetry tip. Her name Nakia. She do her thing. It's a lot of us. Like it's a lot of us that pick them pens up. Neptune Speaks. It's a lot of us that pick them pens up, but we gotta show that love. We gotta be resourced. They call my phone and pick it up.
That's what's up. Now my last question for the day. You get to see Baltimore from the political side and the social side, as far as like us just not involved in anything at all. What do you think we need to do as the black community so that we can actually control our city? There was a time when we had a little bit of control, but right now I feel like we are not able to make decisions that affect us in a positive way. We can't open up, do this and do that. What do we need to do from your perspective to get our city back, to get control of our city back?
So I was like chilling, sitting outside, and this lawyer pull up, and he was fussing about a protest, and he knew about people protesting, so he was like, yo, these people getting on my nerves with this protest, let me go downtown and file for this permit so they don't get locked up. So I know this kid that was at the protest that was like, yo, I don't fuck with nobody that wears suits, they fucking coons, yada yada yada, got some dumbass shit, whatever, I'm out here in the streets fighting for my people, whatever, I'm trying to disrupt so they can, bring awareness to our issues, right?
Right.
So the kid didn't understand that without the lawyer, his dumb ass would be in jail.
Facts.
The lawyer didn't understand that without the kid doing that, he might not be able to function and fight for these people without the struggle being so visible.
Right.
Y'all needed each other. So I think that we need people to work outside of the system and inside of the system. I would love to partner with Baltimore City Public Schools, but I can't because my books have profanity and they don't want to sign off on them, even though B-Side and the Cook-Up are the two most read books in high school in Baltimore. People read them books so much that when the schools purchase them, or when certain teachers purchase them, the students steal them. I had to start raising money to donate books to the school so the students can have them. So it's like, I would love for the school system to say, wow, they like this guy Watkins like that, let's build with him. But they was like, no, this guy's from Baltimore, so we don't see any value in that. This guy's from the street, we don't see any value for that. This guy used profanity. Our kids in Baltimore City Public Schools don't use profanity. You know what I'm saying?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's not even my job, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not even my job to get mad at them, because this is what happened. My book was up to be required reading, right? Baltimore City Public Schools. I was happy as I don't know what. These two respected teachers was pushing for it. They wrote up all the curriculum. It was an ill thing. And it's, mind you, like I don't know, people don't really understand that, like, I do an event at City Springs, which is a middle school in East Baltimore by Perkins. In the same week, I did an event at the kiddie jail, baby booking. And then the same week, I lectured at Harvard. Like, but using the same book. Right. So that's jail niggas, that's middle school, that's fucking the highest Ivy League school in the country. Right. Giving the same talk. So the shit is obviously relevant and important. So the teachers using all of that as they construct their argument, and it's looking good. The teacher called me up and was like, yo, D, man, we had the meeting, they're not using your book, I'm sorry. So I'm like, damn, I'm mad as shit. And you know, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. My first school visit, I didn't have a book out. I went to Patterson, I wrote an essay, that shit went viral. Teachers asked me to come speak. So I went to go speak to the kids. When I got there, this little kid was telling me like, yo, I'm from Douglas, yada yada, this, that, and the third. You know, I know your cousin Damon, this, that, and the third. He was a good little kid. He was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I hate reading, but I like your essay. Yo, I'm on Instagram, can you follow me? I said, yeah. He said, yo, can you shout me out? I'm trying to get my followers up. I said, yeah, man, you know, Shorty, you funny. So I was speaking at 2 classes that day at Patterson. So Shorty was like my little guide taking me around to the classes. So his teacher was like, you gotta go to class. And he like, yo, I ain't got no teacher, I had a substitute for months. Can I just stay up here and attend Mr. Watkins' talk? So she like, if Mr. Watkins cool with it. And I'm like, yeah. So that was my little homie, shouting about all of that shit. And that's just like way back in like 2013 or something. So now we like in 2016. And they, you know, both of my books is out. I'm a New York Times bestseller. I'm doing my thing. I'm rocking and rolling. And I'm thinking of my book is about to, 2017. And I'm thinking that my book is about to become required reading. And I get the phone call and they said no. So I'm like, when I got the phone call and they said no, I was like at a party or on a date or so I was on something. And I'm so crazy when it comes to stuff like that I'll just leave. Like I'll just pay the bill, whatever, and I just leave. So I go back to my office and start reading my shit like, yo, what did I do wrong? What I miss? And I'm mad, so I leave my office and I go get drunk and I'm wet up, and then my homeboy's playing cards on Caroline Street. So I'm on Caroline Street playing cards and I'm wet all up, and it's probably like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning now. I stumble out, get in my car, and I'm ready to drive home. I ain't got no gas. So I pull over at the gas station on Fair Street, and when I get out the gas, right there by the new homes, so when I get out the gas station, I go in there, I get like, I got one cigarette, like 2 cigarettes. Right. And you know, like 40 on pump 5, some shit like that. Right. So I'm coming back to my car, and a little person was like, what you doing down here? So I'm looking like, nigga, what the fuck you on my back for? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So he like, you don't remember me? And I'm like, nah, nigga, like, the fuck?
It's late at night.
And it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, yeah. So he was like, yo, you came to my school. And I'm like, shorty, I've been to like 200 schools by now at this point. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, we start talking, and I'm looking at him. As I'm looking at him, he looking over my shoulder, and he's like signaling the person that was behind me to roll out, right? And I peeped that. I'm a street nigga. Like, I see all that shit. I seen that shit in his eyes. I seen the reflection of the motherfucker coming behind me in his eyes. I saw it. He's like, you know, he's looking like, nah. So we sitting here rapping and shit, and as we talking, I'm looking at him, and his shoes look a little fucked up. His hoodie looked dirty. It was like brown and gray, around the edges, like it ain't been washed. So I said, yo, you need something? You all right? He said, man, I'm doing bad, man. I said, yo, here, finish pumping this. So he take the gas pump, and he finished pumping my gas. I go to the bank machine. You know, bank machines in Baltimore shit. I was like Arkansas. They was like, what's that? I'm like, yo, my bad, it's ATM. And I went to the bank machine. I yank out like $60, $80 or something. And I come back and I give it to him. And I say, shorty, you know, people who do robberies, they don't last long. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? He's put his head down, shook his head. And then he was telling me how everything I said I was going to do it at his school, I'm doing it. So I go in my trunk, I give him a copy of the book and shit. Like, yeah, that's the book, you know what I mean? Whatever. remember, shorty, I know you might be in a tough spot, and I know I can't change your life right now, but you out here on this robbing shit, you'll be gone quick. I'm telling you. We have a little 5-year-old out. As I drive home, remember who he was. It's the first little nigga I met on the first school visit I ever did. You know what I mean? So it's like I wasn't able to get through to him, but I got through to somebody. Right. And even though I wasn't able to get through him, it was an option in his brain, and something I said or did, or even my presence had resonated, and it gave him something to be proud of. And that might not pay the dividends I needed to pay right now, but it might pay those dividends in the future, and that shit is important.
You paid the dividends, you not getting robbed that night. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. But like, even beyond me getting robbed, like, you right, you definitely right. But like, I just wish, like, it could have been a different situation. I run back through the gas station like 2 or 3 times. I ain't see him out there no more. So God willing, maybe he was able to figure something out. But that's the score. That's the game. Like that's the move. That's what it is. That's the work. So to answer your question. People, if I'm not affiliated with the school system, I still gotta do work outside, and I gotta work with the people like those teachers who are in it.
Right.
If you're not a cop, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you are a cop, don't be an Uncle Tom. Don't be no, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't subscribe to the racist policies that exist. If you're gonna be a cop, then build some relationships with some people in these rec centers and show some love to the kids. Stop making random kids lay on the ground. Stop trying to like fucking steal and shake people down. Like, just do your fucking job. You know what I mean? I think anybody that hustle understand that, okay, my job is to break the law. The police job is to lock me up. Anybody understand that? But when you like robbing pedestrians and saying fuck you to grandmothers and shit like that, you just a coon. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
If you're a lawyer or if you're a prosecutor, then stop prosecuting niggas for drug charges you want to prosecute white people for. You need a nigga who understands that shit to be in that position, because our system is gonna have prosecute. That's the game. But you don't gotta be racist in the game. And I think that's what we need to make the city a better place. Politicians let her talk like little kids in front of an abandoned row house with a camera on, but what is you really doing for them kids? If you're not doing that, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Fact.
That's it.
That's a fact. Thanks, bro. I so appreciate you coming.
No problem.
Fucking with me and shit. Even for the little bit of time we had. You know what I'm saying? Don't you is it okay to talk about what's about to come out? Or
oh yeah, I got a new book coming out in April called We Speak for Ourselves, a message from Black America you forgot about. That's what with Shaman and Schuster, and I think I'm going like a 60-city tour. So that should be love, man. It's gonna be a lot of love. I meet a lot of cool people. We got some giveaways. I got 1,000 books to give away to Baltimore City Public School students. So I'm looking forward to that book dropping in April. Can't really talk about the film project that we're working on with Jada Pinkett, but it is, it's a Baltimore story, and they got some ill people from Baltimore playing in it. Willie Queen down, Chino down, Pug down. It's gonna be a good look. And then I got a television show in development right now that I'm really, really, really excited about. We didn't sign a deal yet, but I feel like once we start taking meetings, it's gonna be like us picking who we want to work with versus we're looking for somebody to choose us and be working with some cool people. It's a side of Baltimore that never been represented in television. So we're not talking about street shit. We talking about like first generation artists trying to like figure out how this industry work, because we ain't really have no mentors and all that. So that shit is gonna be ill. And then I'm just still touring and teaching. Like I'm out here. I don't really like use I don't do my Instagram. And I don't do my Facebook, so if you want to holler at me on like my Instagram and Facebook. My Instagram and Facebook is more for like visuals and like little information. But if you want to holler at me, I'm on Twitter. Like holler at me on Twitter. I talk shit with you on Twitter all day. Other than that, free Moose, man, free my brother Kid, man, free everybody that should be home. You know what I'm saying?
I just heard about that. I thought, damn, Moose had only been out for almost a year, like.
Man, shit crazy out here, man. They got something against that kid. They don't want to see that kid shine, man. But God bless him.
Yeah, that's my dog. Yo, shout out to the whole OTM. We love you, man. Shout out to GGL Slick. Shout out to everybody that's behind the wall right now. You know what I'm saying? On vacation, as I like to say. We love each and every one of y'all. Y'all be safe out there in them streets. You know what I mean? Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to youtube.com/VVC Life. You know what I'm saying? And we are just about out of here. So also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, We love each and every one of y'all. And I'm out. Peace.